Well, welcome, friends. You can hear me again. I dealt with the microphone issues. Still not exactly clear on how I fixed it, but we're good to go, apparently. Rigorous testing has confirmed I think we're working again. Anyway, you can see we're still here in Dublin, in our beautiful longitude. Gonna make a part 1 video, may or may not post it, we'll see. But I'm so tickled to have the mic working again that I figured I'd at least give myself the option of making a part 1 video. I'm sad that you couldn't see or hear, you could see I guess, but not hear the commentary on our flight into Dublin. It really went so great last night. Anyway, we're bound today for Halifax. We're going to Canada. Gonna do flight across the pond. So it's 10:32 here in Southern California. So what? I guess about sun getting 6:32 if I'm not mistaken. Here in Dublin, PM 18:32 hours. We'll confirm that in a second. We check the UTC in the cockpit. But let's get in the cockpit and get started. Always have to deal with that weird bounce that happens when you go into the flight deck or up onto the flight deck. All right, we fixed our camera, which is an ever-present bizarre issue, and we'll go ahead and fire her up.
Dublin clearance delivery Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey IFR to Halifax, ready to copy.
Fix our altimeter, 3039.
Cessna November 43 Bravo Whiskey.
Zoom in on the MFD.
Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 10 right climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Get our lights on.
Departure frequency is 13.2.15 squawk 3453.
11,000 feet they want us climbing up to.
Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey cleared to Halifax.
Set our vertical
Airport is
speed at
filed.
3,500 feet.
Takeoff runway 10 right climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 132.15 squawk 3453.
Set speed to 195.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, read back correct.
EPU, fire that up. Should have done that already. That goes pretty fast though. Nav source GPS, bearing 1 GPS. Speed bugs will set 195 on the VY and 140 on the approach speed. All on. PFD settings, I wind option 2. And APU is coming up. Let's just see that a little clearer. 89, 90, there we go. Get that up to 100%. Fire up the right engine first. That's coming up. You'll see right here. We'll wait till that gets up to about 60%. Make sure our parking brake is released. It is. We should get pushback here momentarily. There he comes. Rocking those shades. Let's see if this works or not. Often gets a little buggy. It's not lined up. Yeah. He'll jump into the correct position once it realizes it's an error. Come on. Do a notch of flaps. There it goes. Right engine's good. We'll do the left engine now. Fix our camera. Always defaulting to that weird auto mode that I hate. Let's get our lights up a little bit in the cockpit. Early evening here in Ireland. We'll be chasing the sunset all the way back across the Atlantic, but I'm just glad to be flying to an area where I'll have light again. Expecting about a 5-hour flight, 2,276 nautical miles. Well within the range of our beloved 343 Bravo Whiskey. That left engine's coming up nicely.
Dublin ground Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey requesting the end of pushback. Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey request to end pushback.
Get our taxi lights on. Now we'll Get our arrows here momentarily.
Dublin, ground Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo.
Taking off to the
Ready
east
to taxi IFR.
today. See, there's a little wind coming from the east. All right, we are all spooled up, engines fired up. We deactivate turn off the EPU. Get that pitot heat on. Let's go. There's our arrows. Which way do they want us going, left or right? Presumably to the right, but I can't quite tell from this angle, so let's look. Yep. All right, let's go. This will be great. Beautiful looking skies here in Ireland today. Looks like we've got about a mile to our runway threshold. In all other respects, we are good to go. Yeah, we're going to turn right, or bear right. Trundle on down to the end here. Yep, you see that sun beginning to set in the western sky. But probably got, oh, I don't know, maybe an hour of light left. But as I said, we're going to be chasing it all the way across the Atlantic. 10:30 here in the West Coast, +5. Puts you about 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:45 in the afternoon, West Coast time. Plus, I can't remember if Halifax is +3 or +4. In any event, it might be another evening landing. That's a distinct possibility. But hopefully our last. I've enjoyed this around the world trip so far. It's been pretty good, other than not having audio or microphone on the flight from Berlin to Dublin. By and large, it's been a pretty successful trip. So we're heading west. My plan is eventually to head back to Reno, where I conceived this westbound around the world trip. Not the most common kind of trip you see. Fighting headwinds, but it's gone pretty smooth. Again, the biggest issue for me has just been the annoying time-ish, sunlight differences. If only I would fly according not to system time, but I just can't bring myself to do it. There's all these implications. It's like, well, the weather, if it imports real weather, but you change the local time, then you're not really getting the weather at, whatever, 12 noon. You're getting the weather at 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. I don't know, it spoils it for me. Okay. Coming up over here to runway 10. There's the bars. Outside. Looks good. Get our lights on.
Cessna November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey cleared for takeoff runway 10 right.
Start the timer once we line up.
Cleared for takeoff runway
Zoom out on this after we line up.
November Tree 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey.
All right.
Approaching runway 10 right. Entered runway 10 right. 8,700 feet remaining.
Okay. Zoom out on the MFD. You can see we're going to make a left turn pretty shortly after takeoff, though. We'll activate and sync the heading bug and activate nav. All right. Start the timer. And it's going. Okay, let's roll. Reconfirm. 1-notch flaps. Lights are on. Winds are coming right at us. 5 knots. Your speed. 80 knots. $120, $140, $150, and rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Autopilot's engaged. Auto throttle's engaged. Flaps are up. Switch to FLC. Set that climb speed at 210. It's the middle marker indicator. Start our left turn here in a second. Goodbye, Ireland. Pretty smooth takeoff, all things considered. Start increasing our airspeed again. Set 230. Landing lights are off. Left turn's coming up. At DW 551. Right there.
Climbing through transition altitude.
There's the left turn. Beautiful. As we took off from the same strip we landed at, but in the opposite direction. Clouds look fantastic. Set 240. All right, well anyway, we're headed to Halifax. Going to land presumably on ILS runway 23 via the Cabot 4 star. We got a nice, smooth, stable takeoff. Things look good. Microphone's working again. Puts me in a better mood. Leveling off here as we wait for further climb instructions. We'll set 250. ATC will tell us to further our climb here in about 600 feet from now. Here it comes. 500 feet now. 400. 300. Zoom out on the MFD a little bit more. We're at 15 miles. We'll set it at 35. There we go. Headed to Lemta right now. 3 minutes, 15 seconds from Lemta. Up to 17,000, Cessna Bravo Whiskey.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet, Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Re-engage the FLC so that the climb resumes. There we go. We'll set our airspeed at 280 now that we're above 10,000. Okay, well that's that. We're starting our way west back to North America after a exciting round the world trip in the Northern Hemisphere. Took us to Nome, Alaska, Yakutsk, Russia, St. Petersburg, Berlin, Dublin, now Halifax. We'll see where we head west when we go back to the States officially. But for now, that's it. Thanks for joining us for our, once again, audio accompanied commentary, our takeoff from Dublin. See you in about 5 hours.